And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gym in the Crypto episode 702. Today is Thursday, April 15, 2021, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we are here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10ish.
At 10ish. And today's top stories: Coinbase adds hidden message with political undertones to Bitcoin blockchain on day of IPO. Gary Tan's 2013 investment of $300K in Coinbase is now worth $2.4 billion. $420 million in leverage long traders liquidated after XRP rallies to $1.96. Gary Gensler confirmed as new SEC chair. U.S. government sanctions crypto addresses linked to Russian election fraud scheme. And last but not least, of course, our quick mention in the New York Times. But first and foremost, Bitcoin's what's going on with these prices?
Oh, yeah. So our prices today, Bitcoin's at $63,076, down 2%. Ethereum at $2,469 is up 3.7%. Binance Coin at $552 is down 3%. Ripple at 173, down 4.7%. Cardano at 148, up 2.5%. Polkadot at 4271 is up 0.67%. Uniswap at 3926 is up 12% today. Litecoin at $273 is up 1.5%. And last but not least, Chainlink at 4257 is up 15%, knocking Dogecoin out of the top 10. So you're seeing a mixture of green and red. One of the things that's happening with alts during alt season when they start pumping is the rotating in and out of alt. So you'll see stuff like, yeah, this coin went up 12%, but then there's some that's down 5 or 7%. People are just literally taking profits and rotating into other altcoins. So good to see as far as alt season getting started. And hey, a lot of people have already made a lot of good profit.
And I'm glad you pointed that out because like that is the name of the game when it comes to trading people. That's what we talk about when we say don't fall in love. Like that is a trading strategy for a lot of people. And the reason why is because a lot of these alts, after they pump, especially the ones like Dogecoin is pumping 100 and some percent. I mean, you never know exactly when to push the sell button, right? Once it goes past 20, 30, 40%. But by and large, after a lot of these alts cross that 15 to 30% threshold, a lot of people, as Bitcoin, as they said, will literally sell out and go to the next alt that has been down for 48 hours, down 20 to 30%. You throw your money into that one, rinse, wash, repeat. I'm telling you, people, you don't even need to start a large portfolio to do that. You can start off with like a few $100, $1,000, rinse, wash, repeat it just like that. And I guarantee you by the end of 5 or 6 months, you'll have that thing up to 10K in no time type of deal. So something to consider, of course, for those dealing with the bigger portfolios, you may not want to do that because it is seriously risky, of course, when you're dealing, 50K plus, 100K plus, $1 million, and you're still trying to play that same type of game. It's a little bit trickier because of the liquidity, right? If you have 50K and you're trying to do the same thing, go off the pump, 40% here, all of a sudden sell by the dump. Again, those orders may take longer to fill than if you had that $1,000 doing the same thing. So something to consider. All right. I did all that talking because I knew the notifications were late and I saw people starting to roll in. What's going on, Andre Baus, Elihu, Aj, Bitcoin Blash, P-Man Bam, Marcellus Love, Elijah, Kango 26, Carlton Brown, BK keeps on taking bits. Carmelo, what's up?
What's up, Carmelo?
Fanteezy 731, Kevin Cummings, Dylan Darchinville, Claudia, Ali Pio, Rodriguez, hey, what's going on? Ron B, Phil G, Alfonso, Whistletone, Brian Alley, Quindy, Sergeant Mac, Timothy, DM Carr, everybody's in the house. Welcome. Make sure you smash that like and share as we get started. What's going on? Crypto Key, Toronto in here at 6. All right. Let's get Drake on here. Hey, I'll let Drake tell him come on the show. I know he got some money to blow. Hey, there we go. All right. Top story of the day. Of course, we are going to be talking Coinbase. But as we start the day off, listen, we have to give ourselves pats on the back because we don't do it enough sometimes. But we literally called that Coinbase pump and dump for you all yesterday. You can see the chart here. One day, Coinbase, I think, debuted at what was it, $350 or something like that?
Yeah, 380 something. Yeah, 381.
So 125 yesterday, 125 p.m. I'm assuming is going to be Eastern time. Yes, Eastern time, 125 p.m. Coinbase was at $386. It shot all the way up to its high of $400 and essentially $25, $424.94. at 134. So literally in the first 10 minutes, and went to its all-time high. So if you bought that Coinbase stock that first 10 minutes, you made a lot of money. Then as we predicted, we said within 24 to 72 hours, expect a dump. It went from $424 all the way down to $310
in an hour. That's one thing, King. That's one thing people I don't think realize when we talk about logistics. There are people that are like, "Oh man, Coinbase price pumped to 400 yesterday," and I was like, "You do realize that happened in 9 minutes." So what do you didn't catch that pump, and then when it dumped, you had an hour to get out of it or to sell it. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. Logistically, when you see these price charts, look how long these pumps are, and look how long or how slow the dump is whenever these openings happening. We've been saying it forever. Anytime something opens, it's going to have an initial pump because people are trying to buy it, trying to be the first to buy it, and then it's going to go ahead and crash down, which we saw yesterday. Again, 381 was the start, and then all the way to 310 in less than an hour and a half, man.
I mean, this is crazy. And I mean, when you're talking about the traditional stock market too, people, and first, let's make this clear. Like Coinbase is in no trouble. It's still going to do well.
Yeah, they're going to be fine.
I still think it's overvalued at this time, but because of the crypto frenzy, the crazies, I mean, hell, Dogecoin's overvalued, people, and it has no reason to be as high as it is. So if you're going to overvalue coins and projects, then why not Coinbase is what I'm saying. So again, I do think it's overvalued, which is why I initially thought it would dip as well. Bitcoin's the same way. Eventually, we do think it will surpass the number it came out with, by far, of course. But in the short term, again, with the exception of this being a bullish market, which is what I would think continue to prop the price, there's no reason for it to be worth 100 billion just yet. It is a $100 billion company in the next 3 to 5, 10 years, but it's not one right now as it stands, in my opinion. So it wouldn't surprise me to see the price kind of stay and hover around the 300s. And then one thing you also have to remember, people, this is the traditional stock market. Do they get these 20 to 30% dips and pumps? Occasionally, yes, rarely, actually more than anything, but it isn't often. So for you to see a dip that aggressive yesterday after it comes out, like it may be some time for it to touch those levels again. You can see already it's already bounced back up 6%, but that's 6% on the traditional stock market. You would not be seeing Coinbase go up 6% every day. It's just not going to happen on the traditional market. So and one last thing too, I want to also mention, it's 6% up after companies like ARK came out today and said, hey, we put $250 million.
Yeah, 250.
Yeah, $246 million went to Coinbase stock from ARK. So again, that 6%, a little bit of that's from that $246 million. People, you will not see that every day. I'm telling you now, you won't see it every day from Coinbase.
Oh yeah, and honestly, why didn't they just buy Bitcoin? That's the elephant in the room. Is everybody talking about Coinbase shares? Just buy Bitcoin, which that goes into the next story we'll go into in a little bit. But yeah, you could have just bought it. I mean, again,
no, talk about it, Gary Tan. Let's get into it.
Again, we keep telling people it's a very simple process. Just buy Bitcoin and wait. Or you could be like this guy, Gary Tan, who's somehow bragging that in 2013 he invested 300K in Coinbase and is now worth 2.4 billion, which to a lot of people is like, wow, my man made a lot of money. However, if he had put that 300,000 into Bitcoin, he would actually have a little over $3.7 billion. So
what? Wait. He would have had how much?
$3.7 billion. So when I read this, I don't see that you made 2.4 billion. I see that you actually lost out on $1.3 billion. And again, some people may say, oh, well, he's still a billionaire. Hey, when you get the billionaire status, those billions count. 1 billion is a lot of money. So he could have bought Bitcoin. He could have stored it and never looked at it for 8 years, never even looked at it. I'm sure with Coinbase, he had to get investor filings. He had to do paperwork. He had to keep up with the company. All this extra work when he could have just put it into Bitcoin. But I mean, hey, he's a billionaire this morning. There's a lot of billionaires waking up because of Coinbase. So Gary Tan, again, he's from the traditional market. He's an angel investor, founder of Initialized Capital. So he had to do it that way, I guess. But again, could have just put it in Bitcoin and waited.
There it is. I mean, it's crazy when you see that too and how excited people get. Like I said, that is the headline story. But in actuality, the headline should say, something like Gary's Tan 2013 investment of 300K in Coinbase is now worth $2.4 billion. But in Bitcoin, it would have been worth 3.5. Like,
yeah, exactly.
And I mean, that's a big deal.
Gary Tan misses out on $1 billion. Should have been the headline.
Actually, 1.1 billion. Let's not forget about that $100 million he's missing out. Yeah. Like, that's how crazy that is, people. Like, literally, you're missing out on $1.1 billion. That is crazy. That's something to make you sick, even if you just came up on 2.4 billion. It's like, but I could have had 3.5. Like, but you know, that's crazy to see. Also, of course, going along the lines, talking of Coinbase, they added a hidden message with political undertones to the Bitcoin blockchain on the day of the IPO. So I guess that's Coinbase's way of saying, hey, we're still a part of the community, I guess. What's going on with this secret message here?
Oh, yeah. So Brian Armstrong previously said companies with great intentions can sometimes end up creating division and unwelcoming environments internally by getting involved in politics, which is basically his statement from before when they talked about the George Floyd protests and how they wouldn't get involved. The crypto exchange, Coinbase, actually had the mining pool FT pool embed the title of a New York Times article into the blockchain at 2:05 UTC. It's actually in block 679,187. It refers to the U.S. Congress passing the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, a bill which set aside $1.9 trillion for measures aimed at curbing the economic impact of the pandemic. Again, this is sort of a play on the fact that the initial Genesis block, it says it was talking about the chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. So they're trying to do a play on that for the 1.9 trillion that's being printed. But again, like King just said, they're trying to stay in the crypto people's good graces, I guess, by trying to be cool and put it in a blockchain message. But again, this was their choice, and I guess it was cool for them, but it does not really started for me. I don't care.
Right? Like, and it's crazy. I'm glad this article pointed out that Brian Armstrong already mentioned that, how he came out and told his company he dissuaded his employees from expressing their political views. It's again, this is hilarious to me, but it's so American. Like, hey, y'all don't be talking about politics, social justice. Y'all get your asses to work up in here. And then it's like, on our opening day, I just want to point out that this plan that Biden had with the stimulus package. Make up your mind.
Shut up. Yeah.
Make up your mind. This is what your employees wanted to do, Brian, but whatever. I get it. Hey, I'm not even mad at Brian. Brian was like, look, I don't care who worked for me. Nobody's stopping this IPO direct listing from going through. All right. I don't care. So I get it. I'm not even mad at him. Brian said if anybody's going to be talking politics, it's going to be he himself. Unless, of course, one of those intelligent Coinbase developers put that message in there themselves without even asking for his consideration, which is also a possibility. But either way, that's Coinbase throwing it out there. And I mean, it is good for the history books to see that when Coinbase came out publicly, that was a message on the blockchain as well. So that is
it's embedded. Cool. It's embedded in history forever.
There it is. It's embedded forever.
Hey, real quick. Why do we not have any likes? We got 180 people watching. We got 70 likes.
People don't want free information.
People y'all want free info. Okay.
They don't want to make money, Bitcoin.
Pause the show. Pause the show.
Pause the show. First of all, for the people who are in the traditional stock market, you can't tell us we didn't make no money yesterday off that Coinbase play. Definitely, if you were talking about shorting, I don't know if it's possible to do on the traditional market, but for anybody who shorted Coinbase yesterday, made some money up off us. All right, stop playing and smash that like and share. While we're waiting on these likes, Ali Pio. No, we're at still at 10ish Eastern, right? So if it's 9ish for you, I'm assuming you're in Central Time, and for me it's 7 a.m. ish because I'm Pacific. But yes, it is 10 a.m. Eastern Time, so not 9 a.m. Let's see. Someone else. I saw someone mention something about Dogecoin. They told us Trust Truth said they're building on Doge, so don't diss the Doge. Truth, get out of here. You know, we've been talking about Dogecoin since Dogecoin been talking about Dogecoin. What are you talking about, man? If anything, this might be the only one pump I missed on Dogecoin because I decided to dip on out when Snoop Dogg was talking crazy. But looks like it's time for a re-entry point again. But no, we've been on Doge for a long time. We always say it's a great educational coin, but I mean, there is no cap on the amount of the coin. So again, technically it makes no sense. That's just being honest. It's not, not crap.
Literally, you can just create as many as you want. So
yeah, you can just create as many as you want. So just don't make sense. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Yes, Alfonso, we will be talking about Gary Gensler here in a moment. Let's see. Jesus Gonzalez said, keep the protests at home on your own time. Don't bring it to my business. I ain't mad at him. Hey, that's what I say. It's 50-50. I'm not mad at them either. It's a business decision. It might help some business. It might hurt some business. It's a business decision. Yep. Let's see. Omar Banks, thank you for the tip. What are your thoughts on ADA and Sol? So Cardano. Again, I've been holding Cardano a little bit. I like it. However, it is still super speculative, people. You got to talk without emotions. It's speculative. Their project is not fully up and running, nor have they even had to scale. These are things that everyone keeps saying will be the next big thing, but I am guaranteed, like, there hasn't been a project yet that hasn't had an issue scaling, period.
Yeah, every single one.
In the crypto space, on the planet, people. Have you ever heard of the Oprah effect, the Shark Tank effect? Businesses don't know what to do sometimes after they go on those shows and have to scale, and they're expected to scale. They know they're going to have to scale after they go on Oprah or Shark Tank, and they still can't. It's the same thing, even worse on the technical side. So when you talk about Cardano, again, I think the best thing about Cardano is actually the speculation, since they don't have this project that's out that people can actually go in depth and I think you can do this and they'll beat this out and people will actually bet on that. I think that's a good thing, especially with the price being so low. People are looking at Ethereum saying, hey, is that 20 something or 2000 some change? Cardano's supposed to be the Ethereum killer, is only at $1. I'm going to keep pumping it. So from a speculative investment trading point of view, yes. From an actual project point of view, if you're going to put your money on Cardano or Ethereum today, I'm going to say Ethereum. So Sol, you have any thoughts on Sol?
Well, Sol is starting to take off now as far as popularity. Again, use case people, and I think Sol has the potential again to be another Ethereum killer on the Binance Smart Chain. Again, though, you got to have a use case in order for us to be able to say, yeah, this is a definite. Fundamentally, this is what we should do. But speculative, again, I've said it before. I said the coins that will probably do the most, that will make the most profit in alt season are Ethereum competitors, because Ethereum's taking off, and then you have these other coins that are $1, $5, $10. That psychology, people are going to run towards that. So, not saying that speculation wise you won't make money, just as a project can't give it its props, not yet.
There we go. And just for those asking, because I know we get a lot of questions, we answer that because Omar threw us a tip. So keep it simple. Let's see. Quarter Crawler, what's going on? Harold George. Scott Bucho said, got the light working while I'm listening. Got to make that money to get more Bitcoin. You already know it. Keep up the good work. Let's see. Sergeant Crypto, thank you for the tip. Sergeant Crypto said the real history. You know, a great point. The real history was Madoff died the same day Coinbase went public. Is Coinbase the real Ponzi? Wow. Leave it up.
That's crazy.
Crypto.
That's crazy.
It is the real news. Bernie Madoff did die yesterday. For those who don't know, one of the largest with Ponzi schemes ever created. And again, as a quick aside, I don't know how you create $1 billion Ponzi scheme. You go to prison. That's like,
yeah.
Go hire.
Get out. I was about to say, get out of here. Like, what are you doing?
People love them some America, boy.
Yeah, boy.
I'll go to prison for the rest of my life before I leave this country with billions of dollars. Like, it's just mind blown to me. I don't get it, but that's what's up. There we go. Alec G said, King, the original Dogecoin shield. Tell him, man. I didn't shield that coin so many times. Antonio said, Doge is up 2,600%. It's crazy. People will lose money. Listen, if you all remember this, I mentioned this when Dogecoin had not this previous pump right here, but the last pump, the one before the Snoop Dogg, the one toward the beginning of the year. I already mentioned it wouldn't be crazy for Dogecoin to go to $1. I am on record saying it wouldn't be crazy. And I said it only because of this speculative nature of seeing it at 10 cents, seeing it at 15 cents, seeing it at 20 cents, and the psychological trading that would go into it. But other than that part of it, I don't understand why it would. But hey, when there's a bunch of kids and there's a bunch of parents, like it's only 10 cents, whatever, it pumps. Exactly. Let's see. Hilarious. Rodriguez said that makes sense of why I've been missing most of the live shows. Yeah, it's 10 a.m. Eastern for sure. Omar Banks, thank you for the tip. Appreciate y'all candor. We appreciate the tip. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. You know what? We've been talking about this. Bitcoin's Ace official. We need to have an XRP Ripple show, Ripple only show, where Ripple supporters are allowed to call in live. The first and the main one, of course, we got to get Kashta on here live.
Got to get Kashta.
Kasha is the leader of all you Ripple folks out there, and most of you don't even know him. He knows more. Like it's funny when we debate some of you guys. It's like we've already debated your boss before. Like,
yeah, it's like we already talked to your fathers.
Yeah, we talked to the big Ripple boss a couple times before, so we will do a day like that where we get people on. But big story of the day. This explains why Ripple dipped. $420 million in leverage long traders liquidated after XRP rallies to $1.96. That is right. XRP's price dropped 20% shortly after making a 2021 high at $1.96. And this was because of the leverage, people. This is because of the margin. It happened again. It looks like, as you can see here, DCG Group CEO Barry Silbert said it would be risky for exchanges and companies in the United States to relist XRP ahead of receiving the United States Securities and Exchange Commission's blessing. These remarks may have contributed to the unprecedented $420 million long liquidations on derivatives exchanges today.
Woo!
You can see that here, big old red. That is crazy. I mean, that is what $420 million looks like on a trading exchange. That is, look at the size of that. Like, to put it in perspective, people, look at these green candles right here that are doing amazing. Look at that stick. There we go. Oh, there's a long dip there. But look at the size of this one. That is crazy. But again, what I will say is we just talked about margin trading on Ripple. For those who don't know, as I said, I used to margin trade Ripple and Kraken back in 2016. People, you can go, I think, like 30 times, 50 times on Kraken, maybe 10. I was doing it between 5 and 10 times. And it was profitable back then. So I can only imagine how much money people who are going long the last few days were already making. But if you came in at the $1.75, $1.50 mark, thinking you were going to do it too, or the $2 mark, it looks like you may have been caught. And here's the problem with going long in margin trading, right? It's all good, it's beautiful until it isn't, people. Like $420 million liquidated, $500 million almost. That is an insane amount of money lost to these streets for forever. And it kind of goes back to what Bitcoin Zay said before. You're trying to trade against the exchange. If Ripple's pumping and you got thousands of people coming onto your exchange trying to leverage it, margin trade, borrow money, and say it's going to go even higher, then it's in the exchange's best interest. It's in the government's best interest to tap people like Barry Silbert, because we know Barry Silbert has been shilling coins for forever for the government. But it's the perfect time to tap a person on the shoulder like that and say something like, hey, if it doesn't get realistic, hey, and then all of a sudden you got exchanges playing with the margin. Next thing you know, you have $420 million like liquidations. My point of this is, it's not a coincidence that much money was liquidated, people. It didn't just happen by mistake. There was something in someone on the other end of those trades like, oh, hell no, we're not.
And also too, why would you long at a psychological top? Like psychologically or a psychological barrier at $2, that's the next psychological test point. At 196, all of a sudden, boom, down 20% in a few hours. And again, this liquidation going down 20% was $420 million worth. This is more than the liquidation February 1st when XRP went down 46%. So again, as more money comes into it, there's more money lost, even though the percentage swings are a little bit less. So yeah, $420 million gets wiped off the table just like that. And again, there's some people asking, hey, where can you sell it? The only place I've seen is Uphold. There may be others, but again, most exchanges, they're not listing it because it may be unregistered security. And if this is the exit pump, we need to go back so we can show you again. We predicted this as well. We said Ripple's not dead forever. It's just the exit pump coming. And then if everything, goes bad with the SEC, they'll be out of here. So we'll see.
And again, to be fair, from an investment trading perspective, there is money to be made. Like, and first, let's reiterate, we want them to win the SEC case, people. Like, that's something we've said before. Like, we might not be a fan of XRP, the project or whatever, Ripple, and mostly because we think it's going to be displaced by CBDCs. I did see commenters saying, hey, they can work in unison. You'll have CBDCs, you'll have Ripples for different things. I just don't see it happening because I know America, the government is pretty greedy, but we will see, I guess. But we do not want them to lose the SEC case, because if Ripple does lose, 90% of other altcoin projects will also lose. Like overnight, we will see everything in the crypto space change. So I'll say that we don't want to see them lose. However, you are making a big bet saying that they will one day get relisted on exchanges. If they do, you're right. If Ripple beats this thing, it gets relisted on exchanges. That price will pump even more parabolic, right?
$5 in one day.
Yeah, really. But it will literally be a I mean, the people, that is the riskiest of risky moves you're making. And again, just from project point of view, I saw somebody say, what do you mean by project? All a project is, you know, you have the Ethereum project, you have the Ripple project, you have all these different things and different tokens who are trying to do different things. My point is there are so many other projects that could be profitable. I mean, hell, Dogecoin just was profitable. There's so many other ones. Why would you want to risk all your money or a big part of your portfolio on if they can beat the SEC? That's all I'm saying when it comes to that, people. But we do need to have a Ripple day to talk more in detail. And like you said, Bitcoin Day, when it comes to selling it, honestly, I really only want to hear from people who selling Ripple at least a few $1,000s worth. People, like, I mean, just to be real, because again, you might be able to sell a few hundreds worth, but I do want to know, can you sell a few thousands worth? Because the whole point of this investing is to make money, right? Trading, if you're trading Ripple, you're not, I mean, how many of you are really doing it saying, I love this project, this is going to be the end of all crypto projects? A lot of you are trading to get your original investment back or to make more money, and you think it can make money. So if that is the case and it's to make money, then I don't know.
And one thing we're going to do when we bring on XRP people is we need to actually see how much money you made from XRP. I don't care if you come in talking about, hey, I made 300% on my investment with XRP. And if you went from $50 to $150, we don't give a shit. Like, that's not what we're talking about. Congrats, you made a couple $100.
And the reason
we're
why
talking about actual real profit, and you made it, cool. That's fine. We're going to bring on XRP people just because I think they're interesting. Because it's like a cult, really, and they really stick with it. And I'm always like, if you believe in something, double down. I respect you more if you double down on it. So again, we'll see what happens.
Also, I mean, like you said, and the part of the money part, the reason why we're saying it has to be a higher amount, it has to be thousands, is because we're talking about for the average investor who's like really trying to pay bills and pay off debt with this, right? So the whole point about making money is you're not reinvesting, investing and trading so you can walk away with 500. Yes, is that good? It can help you for your monthly expenses and all that. Yes, but we do talk about generational wealth here. So we're also talking about the people who are trading their portfolio. People on here talk about Roth IRAs. Like, there are some people trading a lot of money in these projects. So we don't want to say, yeah, trade Ripple. You can still sell it. And then they come to us like, I had $20,000 worth of Ripple and I can only get off $2,000 of it. So what are you talking about? That is the conversation we're trying to have right now. Not I can get off $75 of my Ripple whenever I want. No, we need to know for the people that's in that mid-range level, putting 10,000, 20,000 plus bets on Ripple and trades on Ripple, can they still trade the same way? Can they still sell it the same way? And for me, in my experience, it has not been like that. Not just with Ripple, for most of the altcoins that pump, you cannot go in and out of them like that. So I don't know. We'll see. We definitely have to have that Ripple day. But one thing's for sure, do not try to margin trade on Ripple when it's hitting a psychological barrier. It makes zero sense, and you are showing how noob you are when it comes to trading. And not only do we see it, it looks like exchanges see it as well, and they're liquidating people.
Get y'all up out of here.
You know what I'm saying? $420 million in liquidations, man. That's some casino gambling type of losses right there.
That's that's DGen Hall of Fame right there.
That's DGen Hall of Fame.
Hey, the likes are not up. You know what that means? Get the likes up.
Oh man, I thought we were just talking about Gary Gensler too. I guess y'all don't. Oh, there you go. Hey, don't do too much because YouTube gonna give us that warning again.
We only give you 10 seconds. Get the likes up.
We got like 14 seconds.
Yeah, I'm saying we're gonna Rickroll you.
Bro, Rickroll used to be the funniest thing. I remember that. You couldn't click on nothing while getting Rickrolled for like a year straight.
Oh yeah, you about to start getting Rickrolled.
Right. If you don't know what Rickroll is, you shouldn't be traded. How about that? You're not ready for what the internet has to offer yet. All right. Google Rickrolled. And once you figure out what happened through those years, you understand. All right. Gary Gensler confirmed as new SEC chair as agency tackles GameStop saga, ESG boom, and cryptocurrency. That is right. We are talking about Gary Gensler. If you're anything like me, I saw his face. I was like, I've seen his face somewhere. He looks familiar. Where do I know this guy from? Bitcoin Day, the brand new SEC chair.
Finding Nemo. He was the star of Finding Nemo.
He was,
it was a very popular show. It was a very popular movie back in the day. I don't know if you remember that one.
Finding Nemo the fish. What role was he in Finding Nemo?
He was Nemo. I'll tell you, he was a star of Finding Nemo.
Oh, he's a star. What's going on with this guy? Where are we seeing Gary Gensler report? I mean, again, this is the new SEC chair, but it looks like he's working in the government.
Well, he's playing a game of musical chairs with the government, moving over from the CFTC, where he was the head, over to the SEC, where he will actually have to take on issues such as ESG investing, cryptocurrency, order routing, and fiduciary standards for brokers. Again, previously served as chair of the CFTC, and then yesterday he was approved as the chair of the SEC. It's just a rotating door, people. If you're a regulator in one office, they can just move you over to the next one. So sorry about that. So Gensler, he actually was a former teacher for the MIT Bitcoin Club. So he does have roots in the Bitcoin space. However, you have to remember that whenever they do things like that, MIT Bitcoin Club, or say that they're into crypto or whatever, that doesn't mean that they're not going to do their job. If their job is to regulate and to figure out ways, to basically bring in money for SEC, they're going to find these projects. They're going to figure out how to regulate it. And it's, I'm sort of 50-50 with Gary Gensler, only because you got to give people a chance. But at the same time, we all know how this usually ends up. You come in, you're a regulator, you start off saying good things, and then you end up turning your back on it, and nobody can hold you accountable. So we'll see what Gary G does, but probably more of the same.
Yeah, I'm going with more of the same. I am not 50-50, unfortunately. I'm more like 75 of the 25%, maybe give him a shot. And the reason why is because we don't have to look at, we have the evidence. We just look at what the CFTC has been doing the last few years. And then they just, speaking of the CFTC, then they just fined Coinbase, and Coinbase had to delay their IPO almost a full month because the CFTC fined them. So again, he's coming over, like I said, his musical chairs. He's coming over from the CFTC. They have not been crypto friendly, and he's been in charge of that ship. I think we're going to see the same thing going into the SEC, and I think that's why he got the job. They need a new SEC chair. Crypto mom, hey, all right, you talking nice. You've been a little, you trying to play both sides of the fence. I told you, gang, all right. You can't play both sides. You need to choose a side, people. All right. When I was in the military, I never played both sides. Boss said, "Are you comfortable doing XYZ? We're gonna send you here. This might happen. Whatever. I know what I signed up for." It's the same thing at the SEC. They over here listening to Crypto Mom, like, "Oh, I thought we were thinking about putting you as the next SEC here." You know what? How about we just bring somebody from the CFTC who are already down with the get down? All right. This guy has already been running the same plays that the guy but gave him. I don't see him changing it up. If anything, I see him becoming more aggressive because he has more power now. He's at with the SEC than the CFTC. I don't see him regressing. I see him becoming more aggressive. And this country still seems like an unfriendly place for crypto. So I think the trend will continue. Unfortunately, again, I'm giving him that little 0.25% of a chance for him to show me something different. But I just don't see. I don't see it happening.
We got to get him a nickname now. Anthony Ross had a good one. We should go ahead and just call him Mr. Burns.
Hilarious. He actually looks like Mr. Burns.
Yeah, we can just refer to him as Mr. Burns.
Mr. Burns. He looks just like Mr. Burns. Actually, let me pull this guy up again with Mr. Burns next to him. This is too funny.
Mr. Burns' face.
We're talking about Gary Gensler. This is the new SEC chair. He just left the CFTC. And I think his new nickname, according to our Warriors, is going to be Mr. Burns. But we're going to pull that up to make sure. Tip, thank you, Jabril W, for the tip. Use this chump change to buy more crypto. Listen, you know I am. Actually, I'm going to buy some Satoshis with that. All right, I just pulled up the image. Let's see how close it is. We're about to find out if this is a true statement. All right, that's Mr. Burns. Oh, wow. That is, that's the wrong one. There it is. Put it there. That's pretty close.
That's pretty close.
That is Mr. Burns.
That is Mr. Burns.
Mr. Burns.
We got Mr. Burns in real life. The Simpsons have predicted everything.
The Simpsons have predicted it all. One more time.
Even the new chair of the SEC.
Oh, man. Look at that guy. Look at that.
Wow. I haven't seen a cul-de-sac that big since I was in LA.
Hilarious. I'll tell you what, we are not making friends with the SEC today. That is for sure. So we need to make sure we got our business together and our money straight, because he is coming when he sees this video, boy.
Young Mr. Burns.
All right. Mr. Burns is the new nickname for the SEC chair. All right. Last but certainly not least, U.S. government sanctions crypto addresses linked to Russian election fraud scheme. Here we are again. Here we are again. The move is part of a sweeping set of actions taken by the U.S. government against alleged Russian election interference. First of all, people, this is what I mean by I'd rather have self-regulation. I don't want to see a government trying to sanction crypto addresses, even though they still don't understand the technology, because as soon as a crypto address is sanctioned, you can literally just create a brand new one. Like this click and it's a new address. So to sanction it makes no sense. But also, why are we worried about Russians still in crypto addresses when we got people marching on the Capitol? What are we doing?
Like, yeah, exactly. We put more effort in other countries than we do our own place.
He's talking about Russian election fraud. We literally had people rush the Capitol steps. People died, and it was on TV. And you're talking about sanctioning crypto, and I guarantee you there are some Ned Flanders out there who will be like, yeah, regulation, mitigate risk. It's like, no, worry about the Capitol steps. Let's worry less about election fraud coming from Russia right now. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
Oh, man. So it's not even really a big story, honestly, because of the money that's accessed, but because it is the U.S. involvement. The Treasury Department announced it would identify digital currency addresses used by a Second Eye Solution, otherwise known as forwarders, which received $2.5 million across 27,000 transactions between 2013 and 2021. Hey, in the grand scheme of the world, $2.5 million is nothing. I don't even know why this was. Why were they trying to stop it? And again, if they think there's some sort of nefarious acts going on to have election fraud, and we're talking about Russia election fraud, are you serious? Are you think you're gonna stop that because of $2.5 million and a small hack? That ain't doing nothing. So we're just meddling where we always do in other people's business. Again, even says the word here. The U.S. has accused Russian government officials of meddling with this election before, and Thursday's actions include allegations that they were behind the massive SolarWinds cyber attack. So they tried to shut down those digital addresses. But again, if they can do it to one address, they can do it to a bunch of them. And all that can happen is, again, you can change your address, but every time you send it, it'll be linked to that address. And then they'll say, oh, you received this money from terrorist funds back in 2013. You're like, what? All I did was just say I accept Bitcoin. So that's sort of the Pandora's box you don't want to open. You do not want them shutting down digital currency addresses.
And what's crazy also, it said the $2.5 million sent in 27,000 transactions. So one or two things, either, and it was from like 7 years. So either let's say these are real terrorists or bad guys or whatever, criminals. They're either really unsophisticated, which is crazy. You got millions of dollars and they're that unsophisticated that they will send it to the exact same address throughout many years, 27,000 times. Like that doesn't sound criminal to me, people. I'm sorry.
You're not that smart. Like,
yeah, what are you gonna do? Like, yeah, like this. If these really are criminals doing it, they just like literally spent $2.5 million on some Glocks, and they're gonna go try to rob a bank type of deal. They're gonna try to rob Fort Knox. Like they're just not smart. 27,000 transactions through many years to the same address. We don't believe you. You need more people. Right? It's just crazy. Oh, there we go. Anthony Ross, thank you for the tip. Supporting my bros and getting a fold spin all in one. LOL, the marathon continues. You already know.
Oh, yeah. If you spin on fold and you get on Lolly and hit the loot box, that's free money every day, people. Every day you wake up.
Oh, you know what? I'm glad you actually mentioned them specifically. So I can't say specifics and names because it's what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's just bad for business, essentially, people. But Hollywood is cranking up the crypto machine again, people. You all know I'm out in Hollywood. I mean, I'll say them because they're out there promoting anyway. Yeah, every crypto company is in Hollywood. I'm trying to think of how much I'm going to say because I know they hate. Like, you know how it is. They don't. Once you see postings in Hollywood, if you're actually in the business, people, they strongly, every company is like a thing across the board. Everyone hates when you talk about it, all right? But by and large, there are crypto movies being made right now. I'm telling you, there are crypto movies being made right now. There are crypto commercials being made by some of the top companies out there. I'll go ahead and say that one. Lolly, like literally this morning, I was looking at everything. Lolly is one. They're shooting stuff. So almost everyone in the crypto space, the last week or so, last few days, people, I've been seeing their postings come up for different models, different actors, for movies, commercials across the board. There's even student films right now that are working on crypto movies. So it is happening, people, in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah. And I will say I've been approached about 2 documentaries So I already know it's coming. I mean, people are just coming out the woodworks.
It's definitely happening. And for those who know, Hollywood is like one of our biggest exports in the United States. Entertainment, movies, Hollywood. That is one of our biggest exports. So once that machine gets to cranking up on crypto, it's going to be crazy to see what happens next as well. And last but not least, speaking of Hollywood, we definitely had our Wolf of Wall Street vibes on yesterday. Shout out to Talk Shop Live. Only been on there a few times, and we were mentioned briefly in the New York Times yesterday.
Oh yeah, New York Times. Yeah, New York Times.
New York Times.
Hey, and people, I want you to remember, we've done zero promotion of the show.
We haven't promoted nothing. and speaking of zero promotion, Bitcoin Day, the commercial never even ran yet because there was some back end stuff that YouTube was trying to figure out. So we still to this day have done zero promotion on this show. We got you on Fox twice, CNBC once. We got New York Times yesterday. We in here, baby.
We was on Fox Soul together, Dr. Boy.
Fox Soul.
Hey,
Dr.
shout out
Boykins.
to the Warriors. Shout out to the Warriors for the support.
Shout out to the Crypto Warriors.
It's literally just organic. You reach out to people, they come on and they see what we got. Love it.
Shout out to all our Crypto Warriors. We literally could not have done this without you, especially when you talk about Talk Shop Live, people. Like, that is all crypto. If you've logged on to Talk Shop Live, we've only done about 4 or 5 shows. Like, that is all you. So we're going to give you all that credit for sure. We couldn't have done that without you all. But yeah, I like that. Oh, I think Crypto Quarter Crawler said whoops or whoop, but I'm saying whoops because they don't know who they is letting the door now. People, no, hey, but other than that, that is the show for today. Make sure you smash that like and share, and also be on the lookout. Make sure you have your notifications on. As promised already, we'll be dropping that Divi review video today. That is a sponsored post, but that Divi review video will be coming out today, probably the next few hours here. So make sure you're on the lookout. Going to do a dive into Divi and see if there's anything there for you all. What has been doing ever since we did that Masternode day. I know people had questions about it. So we're releasing that review after this. We appreciate if you check out that video. Leave a comment if you like it, don't like it, if you agree with the project, don't agree with the project. We just want to hear that information as well. And of course, shout out to the New York Times. Like, that is crazy. The New York Times. I guess we're doing something right, huh?
Yeah, I guess we might be doing something right. We also hit an all-time high for viewers, live viewers today. Oh yeah, just a hair under 300. I think we hit 296 at its peak. So yeah, we're trying to get it past 300 and keep on going. We should have 1,000 people watching live every morning in the next year or so.
Listen, they're out here listening to Jim Cramer tell everybody to buy Bitcoin again. Y'all better watch this.
Y'all
better buy Bitcoin again at 55, 60,000. What?
You're late, Jim. You're late.
That's the show for today. Smash that like and share. We will see you all tomorrow with some more crypto news. Cheers. Oh, last but not least, Andre Booz. Thank you for the tip. Thank you.